17 dangerous cruise ship mistakes you need to avoid at all costs. Cruise ships are full of secrets that the crew will never tell you. Whether you're in a fancy suite or a small inside cabin, danger could be right outside your door. Some mistakes will cost you hundreds of dollars. Others could get you kicked off mid-cruise. We're talking fines, fire hazards, safety violations, and even lifetime bans. Today we're going to uncover the 17 things passengers keep doing in their cabins, so you don't end up making a mistake that ruins your vacation. Stick around till the end, because some of these rules are things almost everyone breaks without even knowing it. First off, let's talk about a common trap in cruise ship cabins that you've probably never thought twice about. That cold bottle of water and those yummy snacks in your minibar look harmless, right? Big mistake. Here's the truth the cruise lines don't want you to know. Even if you have the unlimited drink package, nothing in that minibar is included. I'm going to give you a real example. On Royal Caribbean, a can of soda that costs $3 at the bar will cost you $7.50 in the minibar. And the worst part is, many passengers don't even realize it until they see their final bill, with mystery charges of $50, $100 or more. So, how does this trap work? The cruise lines put those items right where you can see them and easily grab them, hoping that when you get a craving or feel a bit lazy, you'll give in. And believe me, it works. According to internal data, the minibar generates an average of $25,000 extra in profit per cruise for the cruise line. But here's your secret weapon. Instead of falling for the minibar trap, do this. Order your drinks from any bar where they're included. Bring your own snacks from shore. Use room service, which is included in your package. Remember, every dollar you don't spend on the minibar is an extra dollar for that special shore trip or that relaxing massage that will really be worth it. And if you really need something from that minibar, at least check the prices first on the cabin menu. You'll be surprised by how different they are from prices in other parts of the ship. Think twice before you light up that cigarette on your private balcony, because what happens next could totally ruin your cruise. Here's a scary fact for you. In 2023, Carnival kicked out 147 passengers just for smoking in their cabins. No warnings, no second chances. They'll make you get off at the next port, and you have to pay for your own trip back home. But that's not all. The minimum fine for smoking in the cabin is $250. If you trigger the smoke detectors, and believe me, they're super sensitive, you'll pay an additional $500. The detectors can even identify vapes, so don't even try. Why are they so strict? A single poorly extinguished cigarette caused a fire on the Star Princess that destroyed one cabin and severely damaged 13 others. Now all cruise lines watch for this with thermal cameras and the latest sensors. If you need to smoke, only use the special smoking areas, always on the open deck. Check the times. Many cruise lines don't allow smoking after midnight. Keep in mind that some new ships don't have any smoking areas at all.
Now that you know this, wait till you hear about mistake number 3. Because what's coming next is a sneaky trick cruise lines use to take hundreds of dollars from you and you won't even notice.
Those soft white robes and fluffy towels? They look like great souvenirs, but they'll cost you big time. Cruise lines use a tracking system that makes the CIA look like amateurs. Here's how they catch you. Towels and robes have RFID chips sewn into the tags. The ship's exits have hidden scanners. If you take something you're not supposed to, an alarm will sound when you get off. The prices you'll pay are brutal. Cotton robe, $95, even though it costs $25 on Amazon. Large towel, $65. Even pool towels have chips and cost $45. But there's a legal trick. You can bring your own beach towels, no problem. The small hand towels and toiletries are actually free. If you really love that robe, ask at the front desk. Sometimes they sell them officially for less. Those party decorations or family photos you want to hang up could cost you your whole security deposit for the cabin. Cruise ship walls are not like the walls in your house. And cruise lines have very good reasons to be super strict about this. Here's the real problem. The special paint that stops rust is super expensive to fix. Sticky stuff leaves gunk behind that needs a lot of sanding. Even a simple sticky hook can rip off layers of paint. Typical charges for damage: $75 for tape marks, $150 for unauthorized hooks, up to $500 if you damage wood panels or mirrors. But there are safe ways to do it. Use magnets, because the walls are metal under the paint. Ask about decoration kits that are allowed. Put your photos on the dresser without any glue. Shocking story: on a Disney cruise, a family put up birthday decorations using strong tape and ended up paying $1,200 in repairs. The cruise line showed them pictures of the actual damage. They had to repaint the whole cabin. And parents, listen up. If your kids draw on the walls, even with a pencil, you'll automatically get charged for a professional cleaning. It's better to bring drawing books and avoid any scares. Okay, next is mistake number 5. And I'm warning you, it's a nasty one. If you don't know this, you could flood your cabin and have some really mad neighbors. That sink in your cabin looks like the perfect spot to rinse out a swimsuit or some socks, right? Big mistake. Cruise ship plumbing systems are so delicate that even a single pair of socks could cause a disaster costing thousands of dollars. And guess who ends up paying for it? Here's why it's so dangerous. Cruise ship drains are only about a quarter of the size of the ones at home. Laundry soap makes a lot of foam that can block up the drains for many cabins. Fibers from clothes build up and make clogs that are impossible to get rid of. So, what's the solution? If you really need to wash something, use the ship's laundry service. Yes, it's pricey, but it's cheaper than paying for the damage. Or even better, pack enough clothes. You're on vacation, not in a fashion show. This next mistake is a really big deal. It's so serious it has actually left passengers stranded in foreign ports. And all because they didn't understand one simple safety rule. This is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make in your cabin, and hardly anyone knows about it until it's too late. Opening the main door and the balcony door at the same time can create a wind tunnel effect that turns your cabin into a danger zone. Here's why. Cruise ships have air pressure systems that are super sensitive. When you open both doors, it creates a kind of suction that can shoot things out into the ocean in just seconds. The doors can slam shut hard enough to break bones. You could even set off emergency alarms on the ship's bridge. Here are some real stories that will make you think twice. On the Norwegian breakaway, a passenger lost their passport and wallet because of this mistake. A family on the MSC side had a kid end up in the ship's clinic because a door slammed on their fingers. The Carnival Vista reported 7 incidents in 2023 alone caused by this problem. How to stay safe: always close one door before you open the other one. Make sure everyone in your cabin knows this rule. Keep papers and small things away from where the wind can catch them. And this is just the beginning. Mistake number 7 is so bad it has actually resulted in passengers falling overboard from their balconies. Seems harmless, right? Leaning on the railing to feel the sea breeze, or to take that perfect photo. But here's a scary truth the cruise lines don't want you to know. Those railings aren't made to hold your weight. A simple slip, a sudden move by the ship, or just not paying attention, and you could fall overboard. Yes, this has happened before. In 2019, a passenger on the Carnival Glory died after falling from their balcony while trying to take a selfie. Why is it so dangerous? Railings are only about 1 meter or 3 feet high, much lower than buildings on land. Wind speeds can exceed 50 kilometers per h or 31 miles per hour, which can destabilize you in seconds. Alcohol and railings are a deadly combination. Most accidents happen when people have been drinking. Safe options. Take photos from inside your cabin with the balcony door open. If you have kids, ask for a cabin without a balcony or keep the door locked. And never drink alcohol near the edge. That innocent "do not disturb" sign you hang on your door could make you look suspicious without you even knowing it. Cruise lines have strict rules when a cabin can't be accessed for more than 24 hours, and they don't mess around with this. Here's the real deal. Staff are trained to report cabins with prolonged Do Not Disturb signs. After 24 hours, security may and will enter your cabin. If they find you sleeping or just resting, they'll give you an official warning. If it happens again, you might have to have a mandatory talk with the security officer. The fix is simple. Take the sign down at least once a day. If you really need privacy, let the front desk know. Never leave it on when you leave the cabin. And this brings us to mistake number 9, because what's next involves an everyday item that could get you a $500 fine without any warning. Sounds romantic, right? A candlelit dinner in your cabin, or maybe some incense to help you relax. Catastrophic mistake. Cruise ships have a zero-tolerance policy for open flames, and the consequences are severe. Why is it so serious? Smoke detectors on cruise ships are 10 times more sensitive than those in hotels. A single candle can trigger alarms throughout the entire ship in seconds. In 2022, a passenger on the MSC Grandiosa caused a massive evacuation by lighting incense. Fines and consequences. We're talking at least a $500 fine if you set off a false alarm. You could even get kicked off the ship if it happens at night. And you might get banned for life from luxury cruise lines like Celebrity or Holland America. Safe alternatives. Battery-operated electronic candles. They often sell them right on board. USB aromatherapy lamps that don't use a flame. Or heat-free fragrance diffusers. Just ask at the front desk. But wait. It gets worse. Mistake number 10 is so common that 80% of passengers make it. And they don't even know it can block the ship's entire plumbing system. Can you guess what it is? It sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people ignore this basic rule. Cruise ship toilets don't work like the ones at your house. They use a powerful vacuum system that can turn a small mistake into an expensive disaster. Here's why it's so dangerous. Just one wrong item can block the system for your whole section of cabins. Repairs out at sea cost 5 times more than on land. You could end up with sewage backing up in your bathroom. The worst offenders, which will cost you over $250. Wet wipes, even if labeled biodegradable. Tampons or feminine products. Condoms. Diapers. Yes, it really has happened. How to avoid disaster. Use the trash cans they give you. They're emptied 3 times a day. For feminine products, ask for a special container at the front desk. If you accidentally flush something you shouldn't, tell your cabin attendant right away. But that's nothing compared to mistake number 11, where a simple cell phone charger could get you taken to the security room. Can you guess why? You might think it's no big deal. A little iron for your clothes, or an extension cord to charge all your gadgets. But here's a secret the cruise lines don't want you to know. These everyday things are seen as possible dangers on the ship, and security is super serious about them. Here's the real scary part. Regular irons are the top reason for fires in cabins. Cheap extension cords can get too hot and melt. Just one short circuit can knock out the power for a whole part of the ship. What happens if they catch you? They'll take your stuff right away and you won't get it back. You'll get an automatic fine from $200 to $500 for violating safety rules. Safe options. Cordless steam irons. They even sell them on the ship. Power strips without surge protectors. Those are the only kind you can bring. Professional ironing service. It's only $2 to $5 per garment. Did you know? Some cruise ships have hidden cameras in luggage inspection areas, specifically to detect these items. If you try to hide them, you'll be caught before boarding. But that's nothing compared to mistake number 12, where a simple, innocent selfie could get you kicked off the ship for good. That perfect social media pic, it could cost you way more than just likes. We're talking theft, scams, even personal danger, all because you posted in real time without thinking. Thieves at the ports watch popular hashtags like Royal Caribbean or Carnival Cruise. Your photos can reveal your cabin number, reflected in mirrors or shown on your wristband. your exact itinerary from photos of the ship's planner, and when your cabin is empty based on your shore excursion selfies. So how do you stay safe? First, turn off location tagging on your apps before you travel. Second, never show your boarding pass or ID wristband in pics. Third, post your photos after you get back home. But this is nothing. Mistake number 13 is so serious that it has left families stranded in foreign ports without money or documents. Can you guess what it is? These employees who quietly clean your cabin and fold your towels into swans have more power than you imagine. Treat them badly, and your cruise could turn into a nightmare that not even the best shore excursions can fix. The uncomfortable truth is, your cabin steward reports directly to the head of security. They can speed up or slow down your cabin cleaning depending on how you treat them. They have access to things you wouldn't imagine, from extra towels to that fan you really asked for. Here's what happens when you treat them poorly. Your cabin will be the last one cleaned every single day. Towels might accidentally disappear just when you need them the most. That complaint about your noisy neighbor, it mysteriously won't reach reception. But here's how to earn their loyalty. A simple hello and thank you each day opens more doors than any tip. Leave $2 to $5 per night in a marked envelope, starting from the first day. If you have a special request, ask politely and in advance. Wait till you see mistake number 14, where one small slip-up with the kids can get you kicked off the ship at the next port. It seems harmless, letting the kids watch movies while you have dinner or go to the bar. But here's the truth that cruise lines don't advertise. This doesn't just break the rules, it could get you kicked off the cruise with no refund. The real danger, kids left alone are the main reason for emergencies in the cabins. 63% of calls to security on cruises are about kids without an adult watching them. Balconies, minibars, and electrical outlets become deadly traps when adults aren't around. What the contract says that nobody reads, children under 12 never allowed alone in the cabin. Teenagers from 13 to 17 only with someone checking on them regularly. Breaking this rule means you could be kicked off at the next port. Safe options. Use the ship's certified babysitting service, which costs between $15 and $20 an hour. Take turns with other adults in your group. On family-friendly cruises, use the supervised kids clubs. Did you know the hallway cameras record how long kids are left alone? If it's more than an hour, security will step in right away. But that's nothing. Mistake number 15 is so bad that it's left passengers without passports or money in foreign ports. Can you guess what it is? That safe in your cabin seems like the perfect place for your passport, cash, and jewelry, right? Dangerous mistake. Cruise safes have security flaws that the crew knows about, but they'll never tell you. Here's why they're not safe. 90% use generic passwords like 0000 or 1234 that staff members know. Some can be opened with magnets. Yep, just like in the movies. And they aren't anchored, so a dishonest crew member could take the entire safe. Here's how to protect your valuables. Change the password right away. And don't use obvious numbers, like your cabin number. You can bring a portable safe with a physical lock. You can find them on Amazon for about $20. Split your valuables. Keep your passport in the safe and hide your cash somewhere else. Use the main safe at reception for ultra-valuable items. Mistake number 16 is so extreme it's left passengers unconscious in their cabins due to a common habit almost everyone does. Can you guess what it is? That bottle of tequila you bought at the port seems like a great idea to keep the party going in your room, right? Big mistake. Cruise ships have really tough rules about drinking too much in your room, and what happens if you do is worse than you think. The real danger is 85% of nighttime medical emergencies are because of alcohol poisoning in cabins. If they have to take you to the ship's doctor, you'll pay between $500 and $3,000 in medical bills. Drinking alcohol you bought on land is not allowed on most cruise ships. How to avoid problems. If you drink in your cabin, don't overdo it and have someone with you. Never mix alcohol with medicine. Get your drinks right from the ship's bar. They'll keep an eye on how much you're drinking. Always have water and food nearby. Just wait for mistake number 17. It can make the whole ship lose a day of its trip, all because of you. It might seem like a waste of time. That annoying alarm that wakes you up on the first day and makes you stand on deck with your life jacket. But here's the tough truth that cruise lines try to hide. Passengers who skip the drill are the #1 cause of delays during real emergencies. Here's why it's super important. In 2019, the Carnival Horizon lost 2 valuable hours during a real fire looking for 23 passengers who skipped the drill. People who skip the training won't know where their lifeboats are or how to use the equipment. It's the only activity where 100% of passengers must be present by international law. Here's what happens if you skip it. They'll have to search for you. Security will check cameras and track your cruise card. You could get an immediate fine from $100 to $500, depending on the cruise line. You might even get kicked off the ship at the next port if you refuse to join in. What to do instead? Arrive 10 minutes early to avoid the crowds. Memorize your emergency station. It's written on your cruise card. Pay attention, even if it seems like they're saying the same thing over and over. And one last thing. Final fact. Captains have the authority to add a second drill and lose another cruise day if too many passengers miss the first one. Do you really want to be responsible? Now you know, from the minibar to the safety drill, every mistake can cost you money, security, or even your trip. Tell me in the comments, which one surprised you the most? Subscribe for more secrets cruise lines don't want you to know. And remember, better safe than stuck in a lifeboat. See you at the next destination.